स्वाध्याय टीवी। डॉक्टर बाबा साहेब आंबेडकर ओपन यूनिवर्सिटी।
Namaskar. Welcome again in the series of lecture regarding the topic of process costing. Process costing, last lecture or last sessions we discussed the problem 1, and in that problem we discussed the basic parameters of the process costing, how the elements of cost and other things has been given, and how the things has been recorded in the respected format of the process costing accounts, and to find out the cost per unit and systematically find out the process accounts of the respected process of the particular manufacturing company, and at the end of the particular process how you can determine the total amount of a process cost for the particular product at the end of the process accounts. So, this is what we actually started in the last sessions, that the process accounts problems to be resolved. Now, in this session again we are going to take another problem, and in this time we are actually try to find out some more features, added more features and more complications regarding the manufacturing company. In that case, if they have a certain different type of problems, issues regarding the process accounts, how to solve out these questions. So, in this particular session we are taking some topic like abnormal wastages, normal wastages, abnormal gain, how much output of the units are actually given in the respected process, what percentage of a normal wastages are actually incurred in the respected process, what would be the selling price or a scrap price of normal wastages. So, these are the issues actually taken in this particular problem, and according to this particular issues, how it can be resolved and how it can be find out the cost per unit as well as the individual process accounts values. So, let us begin with the question number 1. In this particular regards of this session. The question is like this: a product A is obtained after it passes through 3 different processes, 3 distinct processes. So, that means in this question also we have a different 3 processes, as you can see in the first table. You are required to prepare a process accounts from the following informations. So, we have a certain information respected of the process 1, process 2 and process 3. Again we have informations like elements of cost, materials, direct wages, production overheads, and if you are going to see the values which are actually clearly mentioned in the respected process column, in the process 1 we have a materials value like 5,200, 3,960 and 5,924. As same we have a direct wages also like 4,000, 6,000 and 8,000. If you are going to compare the material and direct wages in the respected process and the following processes, see the first process material cost is higher and the wages cost is little lower. In the process 2, material cost is actually decreased, but the wages is increased. Generally the ideology and the understanding is very clear. At the time of the material introduced in the first process, always the material cost is higher, but still the production process has not been started from the immediate first process. Maybe the wages cost is not actually incurred as high as actually it is considered, but gradually the wages cost and the production wages cost is increased like 4,000, 6,000 and 8,000. In the same way, material cost has been actually decreased as compared to the first process and second process, but in the third process also we have a material cost is little higher, that is 5,924, but because of that maybe a certain amount of a closing materials which is actually required at the time of the end of the process accounts, that is why the material cost is higher in this third process. Then the production overheads, which is actually a part of overheads accounts and overhead expenses, which are 4,000, 6,000 and 8,000. It was also gradually increased so far. Then the second table, which is very much important so far as this problem is concerned, as I already mentioned that we have a certain amount of expenditures and certain amount of features which we are added into this problem, like actual outputs are given in all the 3 processes, which are 950, 840 and 750 of the process 1, process 2 and process 3. as well as we have another important topic which is actually introduced in this particular problem, that is 5%, 10% and 15% of the normal losses which is called normal wastages also given in this question, as well as the another important thing is actually mentioned in this question, that is value of scrap per unit, so 4 rupees, 8 rupees and 10 rupees for the respected process account. These three items, all these three items are actually introduced in this question only, and how the question can be solved out if all these three items are actually given in this question. And one more items is actually regarding this question, that is 1000 units at the rupees 6 per unit were introduced in the process 1. So now here this is what all about the brief part of this question. We have three processes so far. Simultaneously, we do not have to prepare only process accounts. Along with the process account, if there is some substitute accounts is required along with the process, that we need to identify which are the substitute account is required for the preparation of the process accounts. As I already mentioned in this question, when I was actually explaining the question, there is certain other features are added into this question, that is abnormal wastages, normal wastages, abnormal gain and the another things. So in along with the process account, we might have some abnormal gain and abnormal wastage account also. Then another important thing is the normal wastage percentages is given in this question. It means that the normal wastage value and the amount and the unit has to be determined on the basis of the material introduced in the respected process account. It means that the normal wastage percentage will be applied on the material introduced units in the respected process account. So every particular process, maybe the material introduced value and the units may be differ, and according to the material introduced in the respected process, normal wastage units is also differ. Then along with that, the normal wastage value also has to be determined in this question, and this will be determined on the basis of the scrap value of a normal wastages, which is also given in the question. So multiplied with the normal wastage units by the amount of scrap value which is given in this question, the total amount has been determined on the basis of the normal wastage. Along with that, as I already mentioned, we need to prepare the substitute account also. Along with the main account of process accounts, we need to prepare some abnormal wastage and abnormal loss account also. How it would be prepared? Very simple way. We need to identify the abnormal wastages in units, as well as it would be calculated in rupees also. How the abnormal wastages amount and value will be determined? Abnormal wastage value determined through the very simple formula, abnormal wastage units multiplied by cost per unit, that is CPU. The cost per unit will be multiplied with the abnormal wastage value, and whatever the amount it comes, amount will be recorded in the process account credit side in case of abnormal wastages. If you have abnormal wastage, then it would be recorded in the process account credit side by abnormal wastage amount as well as the units, and we will prepare the abnormal wastage separate account. In that account, this value would be write down in the abnormal wastage account debit side, as the posting norms and terms and condition has been utilized with a very simple way, and we need to identify the what amount of a scrap value of the respected normal wastages. The same amount will be determined the normal wastage scrap value in the abnormal wastage account also. The difference between the abnormal wastage value and the amount of sale of the abnormal wastage units, the difference it considered as either may be a profit or a loss. So we need to identify the profit or loss from the abnormal wastages and abnormal gain also. So this is the way to prepare the process account, as well as along with the some other substitute accounts also. So let us start with the solution of this question and try to understand how this question can be resolved and find out the solution of the process accounts. Begin with the first process, and that is the process number 1. So the process number 1, this is your solution. Now see here how you can identify these values. First we will need to identify through the question. The question is very simple. The question is here, material 5200 rupees of the process 1, direct wages 4000 rupees for process 1, and production overheads rupees 4000 for process 1. But before all these three items, we need to identify the first item, that is 1000 units of at the rate of rupees 6 per unit. So now this is to be recorded in the process account, process 1 account first. So 1000 units were introduced at the rate of rupees 6. So we will start with the debit item. See here on the debit side of the process account, How many units were introduced? That is 1000 units. And what is the value? That is 6 rupees per unit. So 1000 multiplied by 6, it comes 6000 rupees will be recorded on the debit side of the process 1 account. So this is first item. It is a debit item because of it's an expense. So it would be recorded first year 6000 rupees. Now see, all the three expenses of the process 1 account one by one will be recorded in the process account debit side, like material cost incurred in the process 1, that is 5200 rupees. Direct wages incurred rupees 4000 and production overheads rupees 4000. So all these three expenses are going to record, and which is actually taken from the process account. See here, these three expenses which are given in the question in the process 1 column, all these three expenses are recorded here on the debit side of the process 1 account. Now here, as we already determined all the expenditures of the process 1 and recorded on the debit side, we need to calculate some another things. For that we need to read the question once again. Now see here, in the second table, process 1, we have two important informations. One is actual output is given in units, that is 950 units. It means that the how much output it comes at the end of the first process, that is 950 units. So 950 units is output of the at the end of the first process, and 5% is a normal wastages or a normal loss. Now this 5% normal loss will be charged on the material introduced in the process 1. Now see, in the process 1 account, how many units introduced in this process 1? That is 1000. So 1000 units is actually introduced in the process 1, and 5% calculated normal wastage. See the working number 1. The normal wastages is calculated 5% of the material introduced, and that is 1000 multiplied by 5%, which comes to 50 units. So all the wastages are always recorded on the credit side, and that is why the normal wastage is also recorded on the process account credit side, which is 50 units. Now here the 50 units we already identified, but how the amount and value can be determined of the normal wastages? Now see once again the question. In the question third column, second table third column, see here, value of scrap per unit rupees is given. So process 1, 950 units, it's an output, 5% is a normal loss, and 4 rupees, that is your value of scrap per unit of rupees 4. Now see here, the normal wastage can be calculated here very simply. See the working second line, value of normal wastage is, the normal wastage units are 50 units, scrap value is rupees 4, so it comes 200 rupees, and that is why it would be recorded in the process account 1 by normal wastage in units column 50 units and in amount column rupees 200. So this is the way to determine the value of the normal wastages. Now see, and we need to find out the abnormal wastage also. What is the formula to determine the abnormal wastage or abnormal gain? Very simple way. Abnormal wastages can be calculated like this. First we need to identify the how many material introduced in this particular process. So we have a very clear cut identification, that is 1000 units introduced in this process 1. So 1000 units material introduced in the process 1 minus how many units normal wastage, that is 50. So minus normal wastage units from the material introduced, that is 50, and minus whatever the actual output is given in the process at the end of process 1, which is given 950. So 950 units is an actual output of the process 1. Now see, 1000 minus 50 minus 950, it becomes 0. So it means that we don't have any abnormal wastages and abnormal gain so far in this process account, in the process 1 account. So now the 950 units, it's an actual output which has to be written in the process account credit side. Now see, on the process 1 account credit side, 950 units is recorded in the units column, which is, and in front of that 950 we will have to write that this would be transfer into the process 2 account. I think so everyone has remembered that in the last session also I told you very clearly, at the end of the process 1 and the finished product of the process 1 become a raw material of the process 2. So it means that whatever the finished stock we will determine at the end of the process 1, it's a raw material of the continuous process or the preceding process, that is process 2. Here the process 1 end with the 950 units, and that is very clearly mentioned in the question. So first actual output of the process 1 is 950 units. We need to determine the value, but value has to be determined on the basis of a cost per unit. So now see the answer, the cost per unit is actually determined in this way. So cost per unit is determined with the formula of cost per unit is equal to total expenditures minus normal wastage value or normal wastage amount divided by total units introduced in the respected process minus normal wastage units. So, now here how much total amount of expenditures are incurred in the process 1, that is 19,200. See, in the process 1 account debit side, the total, that is 19,200 rupees. So, 19,200 rupees, it is a total expenses incurred in the process 1 minus how much normal wastage value has been actually determined in the in this process, that is 200. So, 19,200 minus 200 comes to 19,000. See the working number 3. Working number 3, cost per units 19,000 rupees. How it comes 19,000? Total expenditures minus normal wastage amount divided by the total units introduced, that is 1,000 minus normal wastage units, that is 50. So, 1,000 minus 50, it comes to 950 units. So, 950 units will be divided to the 19,000, the value of cost per unit comes to rupees 20. Now, the finished product of the process 1 or the amount or actual output value has to be determined on the basis of CPU. See here in the process 1 account credit side, 950 units is written in the units column, and the multiplied by 20 rupees of these units, it comes to 19,000. So, the 19,000 rupees, it is actually a amount transferred to the process 2 account. As I already mentioned, this is a finished part or a finished product or a completion product of the process 1, but it is considered as a raw material for the process 2. So, that means at the end of the process 1, finished product becomes a raw material of the process 2. Now, see here this value will be written in the process 2 account debit side. So, now see the process 2 account debit side, the first item is from where we actually transfer this amount, we transfer from the process 1. So, in front of this 950 and 19,000, we will have to write it transfer from process 1 account. In units column, it is 950 units, and in amount column, it is 19,000. So, it means that the 950 units has been transferred from the process 1 along with the amount of rupees 19,000, which is calculated as per the CPU at rupees 20 per unit. Now, till here everything is fine, because of whatever the amount we actually transfer from the process 1, it is very clearly written here. Now, we need to identify the expenditures are incurred in the process 2 account. How you can identify it? Which is clearly given in the question. Now, see again the question. In the question, first table in process 2 column, material, direct wages and production overheads. All three expenses are given in the process 2 column. Material amount is given 3,960 rupees, direct wages is given rupees 6,000 and production overhead is given rupees 6,000. So, all these three expenses are actually incurred in the process 2, and these three expenses are going to record in the process 2 account debit side. Now, see here, material is 3,960 on the debit side, direct wages is 6,000 and production overhead is also rupees 6,000. So, all these three expenses are going to record in the process 2 account debit side. So, this is what we actually find out the informations from the question. So, first what we did, we actually identified the how much amount has been transferred from the process 1 from the previous process, that is 950 in units and 19,000 rupees the value of a particular amount transferred from the process 1. Then we identified the amount of expenditures are incurred in the respected process 2, that is material, direct wages and production overheads, which is clearly given in the question process 2 column. All these three expenses are also debit item, so it is recorded in the process 2 account debit side. So, till here we already identified whatever the informations are clearly mentioned in the question. Now, the second part of the process 2, that is we do not have a clear cut normal wastage value as well as units. Second, it might be we have an abnormal wastage and abnormal gain also in this process account, as well as we need to find out the value of normal wastage and abnormal wastage, and at the end we need to identify the cost per unit also. So, on the basis of CPU, we need to identify the value of abnormal wastage as well as the amount which is transferred into the process 3. Now, see the question, see the answer, how we can determine. The question is very clear in the question 2, in the question second part of the table, that is process 2, you can see the amount transfer, actual output in units, it is identified 840 units. So, 840 units is an actual output of the process 2. How much normal wastage is given in this process 2? That is 10%. So 10% it's actually a normal loss. And what is the value of scrap per unit? And that is 8 rupees. Now see in the answer, in the process 2 account, first we calculate the normal wastage. So see the working number 1. But normal wastage in this particular process, it is 10% of the material introduced. As I very clearly mentioned in the beginning of the part only, the normal wastage is always charged on material introduced of the respected process. How many units are introduced in this process? That is 950. So 950 units introduced in this process multiplied by 10%, it comes to 95 units. Therefore, so 95 units, it's a normal wastage. Now see in the process 2 account, on the credit side, by normal wastages, in units column it is written 995. So 95, it's a normal wastage units. Now we need to calculate the normal wastage value. What is the scrap value of a normal wastage, which is also clearly given in the question, rupees 8 per unit. So 95 units multiplied by 8 rupees scrap value, it comes to 760 rupees. So this is a value of a normal wastage which is written on the process 2 account credit side along with the units and amount. So amount column 760 rupees. So far we identified the first item which is actually not clearly mentioned in the question, that is normal wastages. So normal wastage is written and identified 95 units and 760 rupees. Moving to the second point, that is abnormal wastages. Now we need to identify whether we have an abnormal wastage in this question or abnormal gain. How you can determine to identify the abnormal wastage and abnormal gain in this question? See here, again we need to identify and comparisons of the units between the debit and credit. Now see here on the debit side, how many units are introduced in this process? That is 950 units. So we have a total 950 units in so far of the process 2 account, minus normal wastages units. How many normal wastages units were there? That was 95. So 950 material introduced. Working number 2, very important. Abnormal wastages, 950 material introduced minus 95 is the normal wastages and minus actual output. Actual output you can identify it from the question. See the question, second table, actual output in front of process 2, 840 units. So we have a 840 units in actual output, which is also to be deducted from this total material introduced in the process 2. So 950 minus 95 minus 840, the balance is 15 units. So it means that the balance, it comes in positive, it shows that this 15 units, it's abnormal wastages. So the abnormal wastages recorded in process 2 account credit side. See the credit side in the process 2 account, abnormal wastages in units column, it is 15 units. Now abnormal wastages value to be determined on the basis of a CPU, cost per unit. So now we will need to calculate the cost per unit. What is the formula for calculation of CPU? As we already applied in the last process also, same way. See the working number 3, cost per unit CPU. The formula for CPU is total cost minus value of normal wastages divided by units introduced in the process 2 minus normal wastage units. Now see on the debit side of the process 2 account, make a total of the debit side total expenditures, which comes to 34,960. So this is your total cost minus normal wastage value, which is 760 rupees. So 34,960 rupees minus 760 normal wastage value. See the working, divided by how many units introduced in the process 2, that is 950 minus normal wastage units 95. So here the final position of the cost per unit is 34,200 rupees divided by 855 units. See the last line of the working, 34,200 rupees divided by 855 units. So it comes to rupees 40. So this is your cost per unit for the process 2. So for process 2, CPU is rupees 40. Now this CPU would be applied to for two things. One is to find out the abnormal wastage, again CPU will be applied, and to find out the amount of actual output, also to be determined on the basis of CPU. So 15 units multiplied by 40 rupees CPU, it comes to 600 rupees. Now see here in the process 2 account credit side, in front of abnormal wastages, units were identified 15, CPU is 40. So, multiplied by 15 into 40, it comes to 600 rupees. Okay. Now, see here in the process 2 account credit side, at the end of this process 2, we find out the value. How you can determine the value? Very simple, actual output is clearly given in the question, that is 840. CPU is already we find out in the third working, that is rupees 40. So, 840 multiplied by 40 rupees per unit, which comes to 33,600 rupees. So, 33,600 rupees, it is a value of amount transferred to the next process, or you can say the finished part or a finished product of the process 2. So, the transfer of the process 3 account, how many units? 840, and amount is 33,600. Just maybe a cross tally, I just want to tell you here, very clear cut idea. The amount of the credit side, which is very much equal to the debit value. Here at the end of the value which we determined of the transfer value, and we make a total of the credit side, which comes to 34,960, it is always similar the whatever the value has been actually identified on the debit side. If it is not same, that means there would be a something wrong, and there are maybe find out the some errors. So, errors is to be determined if the total is not remains same, but here the total is remain same. So, that means the whatever the value we determined of the actual output, it is perfectly okay. So, this is the way we determined actually the transfer of the process 3. Now, this is what we find out the process 2 account here. Now, very much important, as I already mentioned in the beginning part of the question, we need to prepare some subordinate account and supportive accounts also. As we already find out the abnormal wastages in this process, so we need to prepare the abnormal wastage account also. Now, see the second account, that is abnormal wastage account. Here abnormal wastage account, we already find out in the process 2 account abnormal wastage on the credit side. So, as per the ledger posting rules and regulation, if abnormal wastages were written in the process 2 account credit side, it would be written in the abnormal wastages account on the debit side. Now, see in abnormal wastages account debit side, to process 2 account, units column 15 and the amount column 600, as it is simply we posted here, right. So, that is actually a simply posting formula or a posting rules and regulations. Now, how we can find out the profit or loss of the particular abnormal wastages? How you can determine the profit or loss of the abnormal wastages? Now, on the credit side, whatever the abnormal wastages we have, that we need to show it as a sales on the basis of the scrap value which is given in the question, as we already calculated the normal wastage amount. So, the same scrap value of a normal wastage is applied here for the calculation of abnormal wastages sales price also. So, here on the credit side of abnormal wastages, see the first item, by sale of abnormal wastages, units remain same 15, because of we have a 15 abnormal wastages units, multiplied by what is the sales price of the normal wastages, that is 8 rupees, scrap value which is given in the question and which was actually applied to find out the normal wastages also. The same price would be applied here also for calculation of losses and profit of abnormal wastages. So, 15 units multiplied by 8 rupees scrap value, which comes to 15 is a 120 rupees. So, in amount column you can identify the 120 rupees. Now, make a total of the both the side, find out the shortfall of the any particular side, which we identified the credit side, the shortfall is rupees 480. So, 480 rupees is the shortfall on the credit side, it means the debit is higher. So, debit is higher the credit than the credit, it means the value of difference of this account, it shows a loss, and this loss would be recorded here on the by costing P&L account 480 rupees. So, this is the way to abnormal wastages account has to be prepared, and this loss would be transferred at the end of the all the 3 processes in the profit and loss account, which is specifically prepared for the costing. So, now this 480 rupees, it is an abnormal losses. So, this is what we actually prepared for the process 2 account, and the process 2 we actually identified the 2 important accounts. One is the process 2 account, along with that the some subordinate account, that is abnormal wastages account. As we prepared abnormal wastage in this particular process, because of we determined the abnormal wastage in the process 2 when we compared the actual output minus the output which are actually determined in the particular process account, and we determined the losses because of the actual loss was actually higher than the normal loss, and the difference is considered the part of the loss which is to be transferred in the particular costing profit and loss account. Now, moving to the third process account, see the third process, how we determine the process 3. As we have to write down first item, that is amount has been transferred from the process 1. See here, the transfer to the process 3, it is 840 units and the value is 33,600. So, in the process 3 account, transfer from the process 2 840 units and the amount is 33,600. So, this is the value which we actually brought forward from the process 2. Now, these are the expenses recorded from the question. Now, again see the question, and the question shows in the first table the amount of material and direct wages and production overheads, that is 5,924 for material, direct wages and production overhead. All these three expenses are going to record in the process 3 account debit side. See here, the material in front of material, that is 5,924, direct wages which is 8,000 and production overheads, it is an 8,000 rupees. So, these are the expenses clearly given in the question, recorded as it is in the process 3 account debit side. Now, second important part, as we already discussed in the process 2 also, the same way we need to calculate normal wastages and abnormal wastages or maybe abnormal gain, anything whatever we actually determine from the respected question. Now, see the question second part. The question second part shows very clearly in front of process 3, actual output is given 750 units. So, it means that at the end of the third process we have a clear cut output of 750 units. Then the normal loss in this particular process, it comes to 15%, 5% more than the last process account, and the value of scrap per unit, it is given in the question, it is rupees 10 per unit. Now, see the solution. First we need to calculate the normal wastages, and the normal wastages would be calculated as same which we were actually calculated in the first and second process. See the working number 1, normal wastages in this particular process which comes to 15% of a material introduced. So, how many units introduced in this units, this process, that is 840 units. So, 840 units were introduced in this process 3 multiplied by 15%, which comes to 126 units. So, this is your normal wastage. Now, see the process 3 account credit side, normal wastage is 126 units, which is written clearly. Now, we need to identify the value of a normal wastages. In this particular process 3, we have a scrap value per unit comes to 10 rupees per unit. So, 126 multiplied by 10, which comes to 1260 rupees. So, this is your normal wastage value which has been written in the process 3 account credit side. See on the credit side, normal wastages, units and as well as value. Now, very much important thing is need to identify whether we have an abnormal wastage or abnormal gain. As we applied the same formula in the process 2, again we will apply the same formula to find out the abnormal wastage or gain. How many units were introduced in this process? That is 840 units. It is a debit side, 840 on the debit side. How many units were actually normal wastage in this process? That is 126 units. How many units will be transferred into the next process or maybe in a finished stock account, because of we have only 3 processes. So, output of third process will be transferred into the finished stock account, which comes to 750 units. Now, we need to compare debit and credit, which side is higher. See, very clearly identified that the credit side in units is higher than the debit side. Why? Because of if you are going to make a total of the credit side, which comes to 876 units. So, it means that the credit side total of units is 876, which is higher than the debit side total, that is 840. So, it means that 36 units is actually a shortfall on the debit side instead of the credit side. Now, this is something different. If the shortfall it comes on the debit side, as 36 units is actually find out on the process 3 account debit side, it is always considered as an abnormal gain. This is a new thing. Now, see here in the process 2 account, we identified it's the debit 950 units were higher than the credit number of units, that is 935. That is why the total was actually shortfall was came into the credit side, that is 15, it is considered as an abnormal wastage because of the shortfall was on a credit side. Here in the process 3, which we identified that the credit total is higher than the debit, and the shortfall we identified on the debit side, and that is why it is considered abnormal gain. So, here in front of the abnormal gain in the process 3 account debit side 36 units, and now we need to identify the value of abnormal gain. How we can identify the abnormal gain value? Again in the same way as we calculated abnormal wastage value in the last process, multiplied by the CPU. That means we need to identify the CPU first, see the working number 3 cost per unit, same formula, total expenditures minus value of normal wastages divided by the total units introduced in this third process minus normal wastage units. Now see the last line, total amount of expenditures incurred 55,524. Listen, when you are making a total here, you do not consider the abnormal value because of it is already here it is the solution is given, that is why the normal gain value we already determined. But when you make a total, the total of expenditure side or a debit side which comes to 55,524, 33,600, 5,924, 8,000, 8,000. So, the total of this first 4 items it comes to 55,524 minus what is the normal wastage value, that is 1,260 rupees deducted from it, divided by how many units were introduced in this process 3, that is 840. How many normal wastage units were there? 126. So, 840 minus 126. Now, the final position before the CPU has been calculated, that is 54,264 divided by 740 units. It means that the CPU it comes rupees 76 per unit. So, now this 76 rupees per unit would be multiplied with the abnormal gain units. The abnormal gain unit is 36 units multiplied by 76 rupees per unit, it comes to 2,736 rupees. So, that means the abnormal gain amount it comes to 2,736 in the process 3 debit side. Now, make a total of the debit side, and the total of the debit side is considered 876 along with the value 58,260. Now, we need to identify the value which is to be transferred to the finished stock account. As per the question, it is very clearly given, actual output of the process 3 is 750 units. So, these are the units which is actually transferred into the finished stock account. What is your cost per unit? CPU, that is 76 rupees per unit. So, 750 units multiplied by 76 rupees per unit, which comes to 57,000. So, again the total is tallied on the both the side 58,260. It means whatever the value we determined for actual output of the process 3, it is right, it is perfectly okay. Now, after the process 3 account, we need to prepare the subordinate account of the process 3 as I already mentioned earlier, and we prepared in the last process also. In the last process it was abnormal wastage. See here, in the process 2 we have an abnormal wastage. So, we prepared abnormal wastage account. In this question we have an abnormal gain. So, now in this question this process we are preparing abnormal gain account. As very simple way of the ledger posting formula, abnormal gain was recorded in the process 3 account debit side. So, it would be recorded in abnormal gain account credit side. So, by process 3 account, unit is 36 and the value 2,736 rupees. This is your value. Now, we need to find out the what was the actual amount of shortfall. Why here it is considered a shortfall? Because of this is abnormal gain, it is in a different situation. Otherwise, generally it happens always wastages, instead of the gain it is always happened to wastages, but in this particular process we have a gain. So, if in case of you have a gain, so whatever the gain we determined, the gain would be actually find out the value, and the gain value would be determined on the basis of same normal wastage scrap value only. The scrap normal wastage scrap value, it is actually given 10 rupees per unit. So, 36 units multiplied by 10, it comes to 360 rupees, and here it is considered a shortfall. Why it is considered a shortfall? Because of it is an abnormal gain which is sorted on the debit side, which is actually sorted on the input side, and that is why it is considered a shortfall. So, shortfall in sale of a normal wastage is 36 units 360 rupees. So, now need to find out the closing values, close this account abnormal gain. Credit side is higher 36 units and 2,736 rupees. debit side only 36 units and 360 rupees. So the difference is actually comes on the debit side, that is 2376 rupees. This is your profit. Why it is considered as a profit? Because of we have an abnormal gain, and if you are having an abnormal gain sale in the market which realize only 360 rupees. So 360 rupees has been realized, which we already realized 2736 rupees. So the difference is more, 2376 realize more than the actual normal vestige value, which is considered a profit, and that this profit would be transferred to costing profit and loss account, and that's why it's written abnormal gain account debit side, transfer costing P&L account 2376. So this is the way to prepare the process 3 account. So in that way we actually prepare all the 3 different process accounts. In case of the abnormal vestiges are there, abnormal gain may be there, normal vestiges are there, actual output is given, what is an actual output at the end of the respected process account, how the normal vestiges value to be determined will be determined through the basis of a normal vestige scrap value, how you can identify abnormal vestige value and abnormal gain value for the process account, which is determined on the basis of a CPU. CPU can be determined on the basis of a certain formula. What is the formula of calculation of CPU? Very simple way, total expenditures or total cost incurred in the respected process minus normal vestige value divided by the total units introduced in the respected process minus normal vestige units. So this is the way to find out the CPU. This CPU would be actually helpful to calculate 2 values, one is abnormal vestiges and abnormal gain, and second the amount which is actually transferred into the next process. So this is the way to prepare the process accounts and find out the cost for each process as well as at the end of the total process through the different type of features added into this particular question. This is what I want to explain in this process costing practical 2 session. Thank you very much.
स्वाध्याय टीवी